was going to have to. I call to order the November 24th, 2015 Saline County Commission Public Forum and Meeting to order. Will the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick?
Here.
Commissioner Guile?
Here.
Commissioner Price? Commissioner Larson?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
I ask you all now to join me in a flag salute in a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Move now to the public forum, a time where citizens may speak on county government, usually limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to come forward at this time?
Karen Shade, 111 Wisconsin. Last Wednesday, Sedgwick County Commissioners by proclamation acknowledged that yesterday, Monday, was the National Public Health Thank You Day. They not only acknowledged the efforts of the public health or health department staff, but of those who worked with bicycle lanes and with the food committee. So I would like to just echo kudos and congratulations and thank yous to that group. I'd also like to, today, since it is Thanksgiving, I'd like to speak about someone who has, I think, had exemplary service to this commission. Has very nearly perfect attendance. He's usually the first person here for whatever meeting goes on. He reads his emails that go to @salina.org. He knows all of the roads and bridges in the county. He knows many of the people here. He is part ambassador and part sentinel for the county commission. Last November, when there was much uncertainty about how expanding the commission to 3 to 5 members would come about, he said everything would be fine, and it has been. Ideologically, I differ from some of his points of view. Sometimes we're the same, but ideology gets hashed out in elections. So I just wanted to speak and acknowledge Commissioner Jim Guile for the service that he provides to this group. Thank you.
I will echo that also. Wow.
Thank you. That was big. I'll make me cry.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Ray Haruska, 235 North Santa Fe. I'd like to bring up an item here about a meeting coming up on December the 1st. I think it's at 1 p.m. And it's a course given by Mike Montoya on parliamentary procedure. And I believe the agenda says it's going to be held at 209, which is a fairly small room. And there may be more people than that. Plus, the requirement to RSVP the attendance is actually probably not necessary because it's an open public meeting, and the commission should make sure there's an allowance enough to have the public attend at probably the 109 meeting room, the one we're in right now. And I would ask or request that this be recorded by Access TV so the public could review this. It's a very good subject about how to conduct meetings and parliamentary procedure, and it would be helpful, I believe, for the public to be able to review and see that, what the guidelines are to run these meetings based on a history of at least several hundred years. You know, this has been going on. And basically, I would just request that this parliamentary meeting held on December 1st be held in this meeting room, recorded by Access TV. And I believe the commission or the mayor or someone can actually authorize this so that it can actually take place. It'll cost a little bit of money to do that, but we're already spending money on this meeting right here. And this is really I believe is an important meeting. And I would ask the chairman to express his opinion or about whether or not he would like to see that happen also, or if he doesn't, have it explained to us why. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. First of all, I understand your point about the RSVPs and the open meetings. It is, and anybody can come. The RSVPs were from agencies that we invited for the training portion of it. So if the Commission of Aging was coming, they were going to be trained with us. Does that make sense? I mean, we're not asking for you to RSVP or anybody. It's open and
Well, the
that.
public they're all going to be in one place.
They're all going to be in one place, but it is going to be training for the commission and the agencies. So it's not going to be where.
It'd be kind of nice to know that the commissioners are getting some training too, along with these other entities that are.
No, I agree. It's originally for us, and we asked for it. But believe me, I could get the training. I need the training as much as anybody.
So
and then we opened it up to the other the other planning, like the planning department, the other agencies, and so that's the RSVPs. We just wanted to know which one of those folks were going to come. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay.
And it was just a little confusing about how that took place. But the other question is, are you going to move the location of that meeting to this room and record the meeting so the public can see the training that all the different entities of the county can, use for their meetings, and it's a very, the Robert's Rules of Order are really difficult.
They are. They are.
And the more that the public understands how they work and how it's all put together is probably, to me, would be one of the better meetings that the county could, perform. And did you have a question, Lucy?
If I could make a comment, I think the reason for this is because in all the years that I have been a member on a board or part of a commission, city or county, it seems like while they all follow the same pattern when it comes to conducting a meeting, the parliamentary rules, everybody does theirs a little bit different. And I found that I was a little bit confused on it. I didn't know which way was correct or incorrect, or maybe they're both correct. It's just how you're going to conduct yourself at that meeting. I just think it brings a little bit of professionalism and organizational decorum to any kind of a meeting, whether it's a volunteer board or a commission. So when I started asking these questions, I'm the one that kind of was pushing for that and inviting also the other departments. The health department now has an advisory board or commission. Department of Aging, Planning and Zoning, all these departments that have these meetings. I think if we all kind of followed the same structure, I wouldn't be as confused. So not that this was self-serving, but I think I needed kind of a refresher on parliamentary rules and actions.
The other question that kind of comes up, if, this is a good thing that we're doing this. The other issue is that we need to have something posted at the meeting room so that the public knows, the people who don't see this meeting, the public knows that they're going to be following parliamentary procedure according to the version that.
I'm not opposed to having that meeting down here at 1 o'clock, but I think that involves a lot of entities. There will be a cost. We don't know if Access TV has availability. We don't know if they have someone that will come and film the session. I don't
Well,
think
let-
it's going to be 3 hours long.
No, but let me, I mean, if Ray trusts me a little bit, I'm supportive of it being on TV and down here. That's fine. If you'll just trust me let me contact Access
Sure.
TV.
If we can, we will.
Let's look at the RSVP list, and if we can facilitate it and it can all work down here, I'm supportive of that. Just,
It's going to be pretty crowded in the 209
Well-
with all these others.
well,
glad you're so-
it would be nice and just, if you'll let me work on it, I'll do
Sure,
that.
sure.
Okay.
I agree.
I appreciate you, taking that under consideration
Okay.
and looking at the issue and some of the, when we're talking about Robert's Rules of Order or parliamentary procedure, we need to define some of these things so the public knows what's going on.
Well, hopefully I'll be a little bit more clear after next Tuesday, and we'll proceed from there.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. And you also, Lizzie.
Anybody else would like to come forward at this time? Seeing none, I'll move it to regular business. Item number 1.
Item number 1 is RFA 197-15, replace the third floor network switches. We have Brad Bowers, Computer Technology Director.
Mr. Bowers?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This request for action is to replace the 3 Cisco switches that we have on the 3rd floor. The reason for this replacement is age, and they're out of their reasonable life expectancy. We have not had a hard failure on them yet, but I think we don't want to push our luck. All of the district court and the county attorney access the network via these switches, which means that's how they get their email, that's how they run their application called full court, access to the internet, etc., are made possible by these switches. We received 3 quotes for a Cisco 2960 Catalyst X model switch. The low bid of $14,072 was made by ISG Technology. Alexander Open Systems quoted $15,528, and iTech Devices quoted $15,338 for these switches. As I said, all the quotes were for the same Cisco Catalyst 2960X model. Saline County budgeted $15,000 in the 2015 Technology Improvement Program for the replacement of these switches. It is my recommendation that we follow through with this replacement and purchase these switches from the low bid, or from the low quote, which was ISG Technology.
Very good. Questions, staff? Happy to hear a local firm was the low bid, so that's good. All right. Thank you. Any public comment on this? Bring it back to the commission for action.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the replacement of the 3 Cisco network switches on the 3rd floor for newer technology quoted by ISG Technology in the amount of $14,072 as recommended by staff.
A second.
It's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 2.
Approval of the county commission minutes for November 17th, 2015.
Before I take a motion, is there any public comment on this? Motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the county commission minutes of November 17th, 2015 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there any other business that needs to come before the commission today? Announcements or comments?
I have another quote from John Adams. We have no government armed with power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It's wholly inadequate to the government of any other.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I also move.
All right.
I'll
Second.
second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We are adjourned.